Di ko masabing off the record to no?
What really inspired you to establish Mount Fuji Lending?
A lot of frustrations, I guess. I can see Ian smiling. When you wanna do something and then hindi mo siya makuha, I guess, or hindi siya nangyayari, I guess that plus a little bit of luck. At yun yung dun ko medyo that's I would say my story, how my story went. Um, when you kapag nagising ka, I guess, when you finally know, di ba, what you wanna do, your purpose in life, now you start seeking for it, and then eventually, I guess, by luck also, the universe conspired to make it happen, and then we gulat na lang kami and we ended up here. Yeah. Uh, I guess that's how I would answer it. But it just like most, I guess it started from a lot of frustration. Yeah.
All right. Having worked in both traditional banking and now in alternative lending, what do you think are the biggest financing challenges that Filipino MSMEs continue to face today?
Data, systems, silos with all the players in the industry. Um, and may caveat din doon is because of all these challenges too. That's why there's a lot of opportunity for us.
Mm,
Um, but if the goal is really to help SMEs,
mm,
we all need, uh, we all have a role to play in it. And we should really start working together instead of competing with each other because the market is really huge. And when we talk about SME lending or business financing, hindi naman talaga siya competition with each other eh. So I would say, yun, mas maging open lahat ng players in the space, in the industry to work together rather than trying to protect their data. It's not as if any of us have been really good in doing that anyway. Um, Mas maging realistic na lang tayo and then let's just focus on ano ba yung sinasabi nating mission and vision talaga natin, why we wake up every morning and why we do this every day, di ba?
yeah,
Next,
yeah. Um, Thank you so
you
much.
to insert, Ben. I want to ask because Mix talked about uh, silos and data. Technology is never an issue. I don't think problem natin and technology
True.
innovation has been there, you know, all this time. And you talked about working silos, being protective of the data. What do you think is the real problem here? Bakit ba hindi magkaroon ng, let's say, a more open environment for finance to be more accessible to Filipinos, especially MSMEs?
Uh, Di ko masabing off the record to no?
I
Kasi
know.
literally,
And
we
that says a lot.
recorded
No?
it as the
Yeah,
start
yeah,
of
yeah.
the session. But siguro, generic is that everybody's trying to protect their own business, I guess. Um, that's why the push for open banking and open finance never really kicked off, di ba? It's been years and years that those who are actually lahat naman nagsasabi are pro open banking, open finance, di ba? But the reality, what's happening on the ground and what's happening in the space, um, says otherwise. So the IN is correct. The technology is there and it's been there for years now. And with technology really improving and improving year after year, and hindi na nga year after year, minsan month after month pa siya, di ba? All of us can leverage on it. But tech is just tech, di ba? The one who really moves the space are still the people behind it, especially the major players who are influencing the industry. So I would say once we start moving out from, you know, I fully understand you're trying to protect your business, di ba? But when we talk about working together, you're actually eventually in the long run, if di ba, if we think about it, you would benefit from it. Di ba? Everybody's gonna win. Everybody's gonna get more business out of it. Di ba? But at the same time, how do you put it? Yeah, ganito na lang. Let's say 10 financing companies, whether it's a mix of quasi-banking or purely, ano, di ba, financing. Lahat kayo, let's say, I don't know, so for argument's sake, 100 million portfolio, di ba, trying to protect that portfolio, and you want to share that data, thinking that, once you start, di ba, creating APIs with immediate access to your data, you would think that you're protecting your portfolio. But in reality, alam mo naman subconsciously, pag tinignan nyo yung portfolio nyo, pare-pareho yung 100 million nyo, 200 million nyo, 500 million nyo, 1 billion nyo, di ba? You're lending to the same borrowers. You also know, because of that, a lot of the problems that you have, when it comes to NPLs and yung problematic accounts, is also because of not being able to access data of others, di ba? Pag hindi ka nag-report at hindi sila nag-report, di lahat kayo affected. Di ba? Parang ganun. But let's say everybody's reporting and protecting each other, then easily mas kaya mong, iba yung 100 mo, mas confident ka mag 200. Yung 1, 2, 3, 5 million, 10 million na pinapautang mo, mas confident ka mag 20 million. It's because you know that literally the exposure of one business. So lahat kayo pwedeng magtulungan. Diba? Then easily, mas mapapabilis mo technically mapalaki yung portfolio mo. Kasi everyone's experiencing the same. Diba? You want to grow your portfolio, you really want to help, you have that vision for your employees, diba? And for the enterprise. Ikaw din yung gumagawa or nag-i-inhibit dun from making it happen, di ba? And ego aside, if we're being realistic, ego aside, well, akala lang natin kasi mas magaling tayo sa lahat sa kanila. So pag sa tingin mo, di ba, na you're doing things better than the others, and then, alam mo yun, then pag nagkita naman kayo at nag-usap kayo, ba't mo pinautang yan, di ba? Parang, di ba, ikaw, alam mo, ba't mo siya pinautang? And then eventually, ikaw, malalaman mo, pinautang mo yung isa na hindi nila pinautang. Ba't nyo pa hihintayin na dumating kayo sa point na yun, di ba? And eventually naman, mag-aaminan din naman kayo ng ng shortcomings nyo. But let's just start sharing that data, di ba? And start protecting each other and really, ipasok mo talaga yung SMEs into a system. Masasabi nila lahat na matutulungan natin talaga sila. When you start doing that, then now the banks would have more confidence in non-bank lending companies too, or financing companies, di ba? Now the banks would be able to also help these SMEs indirectly by helping non-bank financing companies who are actually supporting these SMEs. Di ba? Yung bigger picture nun is us really just understanding ano ba talaga yung role that each of us plays and how we can all work together to make that happen rather than pretending that we're better than the other or we're better than our peers.
Perspective mo yan. And we know
True.
na others' perspective may be totally different. I want to know how this translates to the way Mount Fuji Growth Financing does business. Because you know this, it's important, it's sustainable. In the long run, it's better for the industry players and the customers anyway. Paano yun nangyayari sa inyo ngayon? Are you sharing data? Are you accessing data from somewhere else, using it as a reference? Paano nyo yun
So
napapakita in
we
your own operations?
we stay true to what we say. Um, so we definitely go beyond lending. We don't just lend to our partners or our borrowers. If they need more, we share them with our peers. We've identified through the years, we've been able to identify peers in the industry who are also, I would say, ethical. So we've formed a group of ethical lenders wherein we've started sharing that too. Um, when we started gathering them, it's the goal is really, not just to share business intelligence, but also to protect each other, So from time to time, before we lend out to an account, so parang nangyari, you kind of like created your small group and meron kayong informal credit bureau. Doon kayo nag-check, di ba? Do you know this? Do you have exposure? What's your experience? Parang but at the same time, I have an account, I have a borrower, I have a partner who needs more. Um, and they've been with us for years. They're really doing okay. They definitely deserve the help. We share it. And then kapag meron namang borrowers that's really not within our appetite, we share them too. Let's say, for example, recently we shared an account with Global Dominion actually. So if it's not part of our loan products or our offerings or services, we share them with others who can service them better than us. So in a way, yes. Probably the impact now is not that significant. Diba? We're probably a group of less than 20 SME lenders. But over time, the goal is yan, to magkaroon ng ripple effect. And then from one financing company to the next, diba, they start zooming out and start seeing the bigger picture, and then they'd push other financing companies to do the same hanggang sa, it's gonna be a very long, not gonna happen overnight.
Sir Mix, one thing that really stood out to me is that you shifted the conversation, from technology to people, because we often think that innovation is about digital platforms or APIs, but you're saying the real innovation begins when institutions trust each other enough to collaborate. Now, I wanted to ask you this third question that I actually prepared. So,
Nice.
I've also been working in microfinance, and I've seen many entrepreneurs who have great businesses ideas, but struggle to access financing because they lack collateral or formal financial records. From your experience, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs who may have passion and potential but find it difficult to qualify for loans?
I I I would say they just continue to start looking for the right partners, no? So makipag-usap lang sila na makipag-usap from one lender to the next, one financing company to the next, di ba? As much as possible, find the right person inside too, um, who's willing, to give them the right feedback, meaning willing na sabihin sa kanila yung totoo at ibigay sa kanila yung hard truth about kung ano yung kailangan nilang improve and how they're gonna get there. Di ba? So for us, like in Mount Fuji Growth, unless you really deserve it, more often than not, you're not declined. It's more of a not now for us. Diba? So even if we're not partners yet, diba, we can't help you through financing. We stay true to when we say that we go beyond financing or we go beyond lending. So and it happens. We say it's at now, and then they sit down, they go with us, or sometimes we meet online, and then they're gonna update us on what's happening. And then we tell them kung ready na sila o hindi, or ito pa yung kailangan nilang ayusin at i-improve. And we don't charge anything for it. I would say makahanap sila ng tao na willing na sabihin sa kanila yung mga ganon at tulungan sila. But at the same time, ang unang-una nilang kailangan improve is of course yung willingness nila or openness nila to listen. Diba? At i-implement talaga yung at gawin talaga yung. Because ang reality is you can't really help everyone. Yung iba talaga hindi pa ready for financing. So, kailangan lang silang tulungan to get there. So hindi ko rin masasabi na there's a formula for you to get quick access or may magic formula na magiging lendable ka bigla. Pero kailangan mo makahanap ng tao na tutulong sa iba. Because sometimes you would expect na common sense dapat yun pero for some reason nagiging aha moment sa kanila yun Diba?
Thank you. That actually resonates with what we practice in microfinance,
Yes.
that empowering clients goes beyond, releasing loans. Because in your experience, how much of an entrepreneur success really depends on the access to capital, and how much depends on the mentorship and financial discipline. Now, for my last question, I really like that perspective, sir, that it shows that responsible financing isn't just about approving or declining application. No? It's about helping entrepreneurs become ready for sustainable growth. Now, for my fourth question, um, do you think that entrepreneurs need to have everything figured out before they start, or is purpose something that is discovered along the journey?
Madali sagutin yung figure out because none of us have. Whether a startup, whether in growth stage, whether your company is in the mature stage, ego aside, all of us are still trying to figure it out, diba? Especially when you're working with individuals, with people. Diba? Now, with purpose in mind, I would say yes. There should be at least someone, and definitely dapat the founder, who should know the purpose right from the beginning. Otherwise, how are we gonna do things with intent? How are we gonna lead or direct the enterprise if hindi mo alam kung ano yung purpose, or at least your immediate purpose if you don't have that big picture view yet? I would say parang ang hirap niyang imaginein kapag hindi mo alam yung purpose kung bakit mo siya ginagawa. You don't know your why. No? But if you figure it out, if you do know your purpose, then hindi ka titigil in figuring things out. So, I would say you don't have to, but you have to have that drive na alam mong hindi ka titigil na kahit anong mangyari. We're gonna figure things out. Hindi ka iiyak lang pag may nangyari. Because day in, day out, each and every day, year after year, meron may mangyayari. So I don't think any of us will ever figure things out completely. Just take the pandemic, for example. Diba? Kahit anong stage ng company, tinamaan lahat ng pandemic. So, now, masasabi natin, alam na natin gagawin natin, diba? There's gonna be another COVID in the future.
And hi, Sir Mix. I
Hello.
think we met before in a conference.
Yes.
If you remember.
sa campus, I think that's a
Yeah,
new wing.
yes. I do want to. I like what you said about yung silos and systems that are making it hard for financing. No, but I want to add a more developmental lens to it. Of course, we nationally we are pushing for a more inclusive financing system, diba? Increasing access to financing for more enterprisers or for more people. So how are these silos or systems siguro affecting our push for a more inclusive financing system or at least increased access for people who are having a hard time getting financing? Kasi yeah, like data sharing, yun nga, pataasan ng ego, you mentioned about pataasan ng ego kanina. Of course, these factors are affecting the normal Filipino people who just want financing. You know, banggit kanina ni Herben na all of the entrepreneurs just want to access financing naman. So, how would you say are these problems affecting financial inclusivity in general?
So your question is like, how are these silos affecting
Like
financial inclusivity?
increased access of Filipino people or entrepreneurs for financing.
If I understand the question correctly, I would say it's frustration over time, di ba? Because of these silos, di ba? A lot of not just us but also the SMEs who get frustrated over time, eventually will voice it out, raise their concerns, and then there's increased awareness, and then that will eventually drive not just players like us but also regulators to pushing more, I guess, regulations, di ba? To push for open banking or sharing or breaking down the silos. No? That's how I would see it. If the question is how are these silos eventually, or it would eventually increase access to financing or financial access, these silos can be the source of frustration that will eventually drive the players to break down these silos. Sorry, I hope I understand your question.
I think
Uh,
yeah, you answered the question naman. I have another question regarding I think just building on what Urban has asked earlier about entrepreneurs. Kasi our work, I think we have very similar work ni Urban about helping micro entrepreneurs kasi access financing. You mentioned about hard truths and willingness to listen and implement no as part of the parang an advice to the entrepreneurs. What are the usual hard truths na nagsisurface during your conversations with entrepreneurs when they are trying to access financing? Kasi Urban also mentioned about lack of collateral, lack of working capital, for example. Are these the usual hard truths that the micro entrepreneurs needed to hear as they access financing?
so we are 100% unsecured, so I would say no to the collateral.
Mm.
The hard truth, hindi naman namin siguro ganun directly sinasabi, is that madami ka pang kailangan malaman and akala mo alam mo na lahat, I guess. You think you know your business because you've been doing it for quite some time. You think you know your business because you came from the same industry. You think you know how to run a business, where in fact you're really just good in marketing. But you don't know your numbers, you don't know your financials, you don't really know actually marketing. You don't know how to manage your cash flow. You don't know how to retain your customers and your clients. You don't know how to hire. You don't know which people to hire or which roles or domains to hire, which domains to protect. It's more on that. It's more on the ego. Yung whether isipin nila kung kupal ka o hindi, sabihin mo sa kanila na ito yung kailangan mong i-improve as the business owner, as the founder. for your business to really stay long, di ba? And mag-survive, not just grow, but actually mag-survive. Ito yung kailangan mong i-improve. Wala kang tamang tao sa accounting and honestly, mahina ka sa numbers. So, okay lang na hindi ka maghawak noon, pero kumuha ka ng tamang tao sa accounting at sa finance. Yan.
If I understood it right, it's more of a literacy or knowledge gap. And of course, coupled with the willingness naman to learn about all of these things. Tama ba?
True in a sense, but it's really just more on the ego of the business owner or the founder. Sometimes, at least for our space, I'm not familiar with microfinance, but at least for our space, most SMEs kasi came from either professionals or either second generation. Let's say skilled, di ba, professionals, engineers, di ba, or doctors na nagtayo ng negosyo nila, or nakita nila from somewhere na mukhang lucrative na negosyo, may kilala silang yumaman, so naisip nila gagawin din nila yon, or naisip magaling naman sila sa tao, and they know sales, di ba? Or baliktad naman, they were, let's say, CPAs, they're really good in numbers, so or they're good in operations, di ba? Dating operations manager somewhere or dating GM somewhere, di ba? Nagtayo ng sarilang negosyo. And then, nag-improve yung buhay. Di ba? Nagtayo ng negosyo, they got like the dream, they're now like the boss, they're now free, they don't answer to anyone. So, umakyat sa ulo. So, any form of advice would more often than not, when the ego is not in check, isipin nila that they know everything that they need to know. Like, who are you? Who are you to tell me? Eh, hindi naman ikaw yung dito. Medyo parang nasa ganong aspect. So we over time we've learned on how to deliver it too, diba? Para hindi nagiging offensive sa kanila. Plus we build it up first, diba? And then we establish on where we're coming from, yung credibility. Importante rin yun, credibility ng person na nag-a-advise sa kanila. So it would turn out, diba, because we do our sit downs with our clients for about 3 hours. So the goal is really that to be able to bring value. Diba? If there's one thing that in Mount Fuji that we're really hard on, is that by the end of any interaction, dapat you've provided some sense of or some form of value. So every time we sit down with our clients, the goal is dapat masasabi ng client, whether matuloy ko yun din, na ang dami naming natutunan today. So that's essentially how we do it. So more often than not, our borrowers would want to really work with us, whether matuloy siya or not now. It's because of those learnings. And so you have to break down the fence first, before you start doing that. But yeah, to answer your question, it's really more on that. Sa tingin nila, alam na nila lahat yung kailangan gawin. Or alam nila dapat, or sila na yung pinakamagaling doon sa negosyo nila. Until may magsabi sa kanila kung ano yung kailangan nila. Yan.
Quickly, Fonzie, before go balik kay Fonzie, quickly, I'll take you out of Mount Fuji and let's take your entire career in financing and banking and finance. May mga tao who would refuse to make the change in at least their perspective, credit evaluation wise, adapting to new technology most likely. Why do you think that's the case? It's a similar question I asked you earlier, but that was kind of industry level. But this time it's micro. Tao na yung pinag-uusapan. Why do you think they're not open to embracing the change and parang transform for the better?
I guess the knee-jerk response would go back to ego, but I would say it's more on the human nature. It's cognitive bias, diba? We've always done it this way. It's working. If it's not broken, why fix it? So yan, yung typical, I would say it's just purely human nature. And we're sometimes guilty of it too. You know? Um, it takes a lot of effort, I guess. It takes a lot of drive for you to push yourself to change, di ba? And not do things how you used to do it. And then that yung discipline naman after to be consistent and affecting that change is another thing too, di ba? Because you might have an aha moment or a sudden ano of okay, I'm gonna change and I'm gonna try it out. And then you get frustrated and then balik ka na lang doon ka na lang ulit sa dati, di ba? So I would say my advice is for and I tell this to everybody who I meet, whether it's my team or not. My advice is to continue reading. Diba? Just read, 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 and read. Get other people's perspective. Because your continuous reading is the one who's gonna help you stay consistent in accepting change. This change is part of your day-to-day job or your day-to-day life. And that yung whenever you're feeling frustrated or you want to go back to how things used to be or the way you do things, yung continuous reading mo is gonna help you stay on track in affecting that change and in I guess in growing, diba, and getting out of your comfort zone. But that's that's human nature, unless you're robot, unless you're AI.
Sige. Same question but different level. Let's take it macro. Now, outside the industry, a lot of the things we do is in coordination with other bodies. For example, governmental bodies when we check with government agencies. No, we talked about technology earlier. I'm sure you have a different answer now. Why do you think we still haven't adapted to those? Sorry to put you on the spot. Bakit di pa rin nagbabago yun? I mean, it should have been a lot easier when you want to check a business. Baka pwede mo makita na lang online what, information about these businesses other governing bodies have. But right now, it's still a challenge. And it makes, credit evaluation or underwriting much lower pa rin.
When we started 5 years ago, maybe I was just idealistic, diba? Isipin mo, diba, na everybody knows naman na yun dapat gawin. Why aren't we doing it, diba? This takes some form of discipline or political will. But over time, and being more exposed, I guess, and being exposed, I guess, to different players in the industry to not and even some regulators. You would understand that it's much more complicated than that. No? So ang daming factors, I guess. We can discuss off the record. But all I'm saying is over time I've gotten more patient na lang in managing what I can and cannot control, and focus on those that I can control. And just be happy that as long as we're seeing progress, even if konti lang siya, and even if sometimes yung progress na yun is binubura ng something else, but at least, di ba, there's a little bit of hope, di ba, na nakikita natin sa space. Just be pragmatic optimist, I guess, is what I'm saying.
But are you mixed? Are you seeing progress?
Regulators, there's really a push. BSP and the government, there's really a drive to go digitalization. As long as I guess as long as the conversation, which is happening naman, the conversations are continuing, di ba, between the players and the regulators. Kaya malaki rin yung role that we play in really voicing out our concerns. The associations are there, different bodies who lobby, and then who voice out and raise their concerns. So some players who become representatives of the industry. As long as the conversation is ongoing, I would treat that as hope. And we have to be optimistic because otherwise, how do you put it? I would go back again to human nature, Ayan. Sabi nga nila, di ba, in a blank piece of paper, di ba, mas nagpo-focus tayo doon sa dots, di ba? So I would say, if dumating ka sa point na you can focus on the signals, and as much as possible eliminate the noise, di ba? Kaya ako hindi na ako masyadong nanonood ng news at ng media. Because we all know they're all noise, di ba? In a way, di ba? You know politics and you know the game that everybody's playing. And it's not something that you can control. So focus on the right signals, that will help you sleep better at night. And then just be very, very patient. If in Singapore you can put up a business in 48 hours, know that the reality here is months. So, and it's not as if you can do something about it overnight. No. So focus on what you can control within your space, and then just continue to voice out. Because otherwise, if you all give up, and then walang mangyayari talaga sa Pilipinas or sa space natin or sa industry. So I'm sure I focused on being more optimistic, but at the same time knowing, stay grounded kung ano yung realities that we're in. Diba? Kaya nga pag may kausap akong most foreigners, diba, whenever they rant out, I just, alam na nila yung line na welcome to the Philippines. Diba? Yeah.
I'm trying to decipher the hopelessness from the hopeful theme of your response. But yeah,
I really, really get where you're coming from. But I don't want to be a pessimistic person. Parang mahirap din eh. Yeah. While you know what's happening left and right, it's not as if we've been this decades ago. I mean, we've seen this decades ago too. It's not as if we've been, nag-iiba lang naman yung type of drama that we see, or yung game that they're playing. So yeah, just do what you can do. Just do what you need to do, and then stay focused on your mission. And just have that continuous drive to live up to your purpose and stay focused on your mission. Easier said than done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now that you mentioned it, Sir Mix, with the recent crisis, was there a difficult decision that you have to make, and what are the trade-offs? Kasi a lot of the lending companies had to make difficult decisions then. So ano yung sayo? Ano yung sa Mount Fuji, and what are the trade-offs because of that decision?
Every day, every single tooth day, a lot of hard decisions to make. Gonna go back to why you exist, why you wake up every morning, why you go to work. It's living out your purpose. And then you meet someone who really needs help. So you have to balance that out between if you really should help them or not. But at the same time, how can you help them in another way? And at the same time, should you? Because it's gonna take, every effort takes time. It takes you, and the time taken away from you doing something else. So a lot of day to day is trying to balance things left and right, balancing being realistic or being idealistic, helping others even if you can or cannot, a lot of the time too, it's really more on you question yourself. You should, more often than not kasi, di ba, ang typical isipin mo is what's in it for me? Wala naman ako papala dyan. Bakit ko pa siya tutulungan? But yun yung dapat mong gawin. Di ba, yun yung, or baka hindi nag-aabi lahat, pero for me, yun yung dapat mong gawin eh. You know that you can still help even if may mapapala ka dun or wala. So, ang nangyari na lang sa amin is tinanggal na namin sa equation. We're not expecting really anything. When we help someone out, we're not expecting any commissions from it. When we give a business to another one, wala nang ganong aspect. The goal is just to really help them. With everything that's happening in terms of the day-to-day decisions, yes, as I told Ian earlier, when we started the year, we were really optimistic. In fact, we want to go double this year. And then Trump happened. Yeah, so immediately after, we need to revisit, and now we have no choice but to be conservative. But at the same time, we want to grow. We don't call ourselves advocate of growth if we ourselves are not growing. And we need to be at the same pace. Our partners cannot outpace us. We need to be growing faster than them. So we definitely still want to grow. Then, pero paano mo gagawin yun? Times like this. The team too. Because of everything that's happening, it's been very challenging for everyone, especially now, not just physically, but also mentally, emotionally. So yun, day to day, you want to see progress, but at the same time, you have to balance it out in being more empathetic and understanding. So madami. But ito yung ganito lang, di ba? Whenever you're outside and talking to somebody, how do you stay positive? When papunta doon, di ba, may nabasa ka or may narinig ka or may kausap ka, and you get updated on something, that's hard for you to do that consistently and continuously, di ba? Always try to be more positive even if hindi ka naman, di ba, how do you put that? Hindi ka naman unaware kung ano yung nangyayari left and right. Yeah. So I would say it's more on that. But on the business side, it's really just, it became really, really challenging to grow. 2026. Yeah. Coming from 2025, because 2025 was another challenging year for everybody, at least from what we observed. We saw 2025 as a correction year, coming from the rebound in 23 and a little bit of 24. So yeah, growth this year has become more challenging, and we're seeing it with a lot of businesses too.
Thanks, Sir Mix. Now, I think I'm gonna hand it over to Ian if you have any other
Yeah.
questions.
Thank you, Fonzie. My last actually is not a question. It's more of a statement that will surely bother you, Mix.
Oh man.
I'm surprised that we're kind of the same. We're no longer listening to the news. I mean, syempre, maririnig at maririnig pa rin natin yan. It's gonna surface somewhere. And this is not something that's endemic to the Philippines. I mean, internationally, this type of trouble is or challenge is something that other countries are also experiencing. Kaya ako sinabing hindi siya question because I just realized that we referred to some aspects of it earlier as noise. I just realized that the very foundation which should have been helping us help the SMEs now become part of that noise. Doon tayo dapat humihingi ng tulong eh. Yun dapat tumutulong sa atin. Parang tayo na lang ang tumutulong. Nakaka-noise na lang yun in the background now is what I'm realizing from this conversation. No? Any thoughts about it?
I would agree. Um, uh, it's like, I mean, wala namang hindi mag-agree dun sa statement na yun, di ba? Um, I would just go back to just being, I guess, hopeful na eventually they have a change of heart, continue the conversation, di ba? And that's what we're trying to do in this space. Lahat ng makausap mo consistently, yan lang yung sasabihin mo, push for change, push for innovation, push for growth, be more open to technology, be more open to change, tell them the reasons why they need to, why everybody needs to. And then patuloy lang, paulit-ulit mo lang sa kanyang sabihin. Because in reality, some of us are really like, all of us are children who never grew up, di ba? Kailangan paulit-ulitin sa ating sabihin ng tao sa paligid natin on why we need to change or why we need to improve.